Hello everyone, my name is Rochelle Innocent and I'm the founder and CEO of Project Purpose. Welcome to our channel. Our community is focused on fostering the intellectual and character development in children. We do this through our parent-child workshops that are focused on 4 themes: autonomy, self-efficacy, compassion, and self-concept, in order to cultivate grit, perseverance, and resilience in each child. And we are so thrilled to be offering one of the first of its kind, digital, virtual, and continuous learning environments enabling parents and children to connect from all around the world. At Project Purpose, our overarching mandate is to renew and rebuild family, community, and relationships. Our different social media platforms provide us with an opportunity to have discussions and to create space for all topics that relate to family, community, and relationships with ourselves as well as with others, with a primary focus on mental health and education. More precisely, the ways that the institutions of mental health and education play a role and have played a role in our societies at large. These discussions and debates provide us with an opportunity to think critically about what needs to change within these structures for us to live up to our bold slogan, support, protect, and empower each child through youth-focused development, better known as leadership in juvenescence. We recognize that in valuing our children's leadership potential, this also translates as recreating and co-creating environments, both socially and politically, that will enable our children to thrive. For those of you who are particularly keen on the topic, we also write thought pieces every other Monday. We actually have a thought piece that we just dropped this past Monday, so definitely be sure to meander over to the website and check out our online content. Now, if it is the case that you're looking for a listening alternative, well, we're available wherever podcasts are playing, and we provided you with access to a few links down below. Now, as is the convention, be sure to subscribe, hit that post notification bell so that you are aware of every time we post. I'm not that great at growth strategy, but I'm here to provide you some valuable insights that can help you master self and grow and develop in life. So if you find that that is what you got in listening to this segment, then definitely subscribe and join our community of game changers. Let's get into it. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another segment here on Project Purpose. For those of you who are new, we cover topics that relate to mental health, mental wellness, and education on a week-by-week basis. And today's topic of discussion is mental health. And the conversation around mental health, I'm going to talk about 3 ways that you can choose not to be toxic this holiday season. And I think that this video is a long time coming. I've talked a lot about avoiding toxic traits, but I haven't talked about the toxic traits that we ourselves can exhibit as we get wrapped up, caught up in this holiday season. And always, like, with the best of intentions, I'm not calling anyone out here, but I think that we can all enjoy a great Christmas by also respecting one another's boundaries. And sometimes there isn't a whole lot of clarity as to what a boundary is or how that boundary is being set or communicated when it comes time to get together with family and friends over the holidays. So I want to talk about the top 3 toxic behaviors that I try to avoid at all costs over the holidays and that I've completely nixed out of my life now, but that are so prevalent, so pervasive. I think they're like intricately woven in our culture. So all of us behave in these ways at some point in time, but I'm going to call these behaviors out. And if you catch yourself doing it, then I'm saying, like, this holiday season, let's not be toxic. Let's not engage in those kinds of behaviors. And so the first one is so obvious. I think all of us recognize, like, when it's taking place, and it's equally irritating all around. Like, it doesn't matter if it's coming from a family member, if it's coming from a friend, from a colleague, from an acquaintance, like, it's just annoying. And that's pressure to join in, pressure to participate when we have made it very clear that it's not something that we want to do. And so dealing with the pressure of multiple invitations, like recognizing that sometimes we're juggling multiple invitations to different events and we have to sometimes prioritize the ones that we're going to go to. And sometimes that priority means like opting out. And so there's a lot of pressure on that. When someone chooses to decline, when someone chooses to say no, they're immediately met with a lot of pressure. And so for this holiday season, let's call pressure a toxic trait that we want to put on a leash. And in a workplace environment is 3 times the charm. And so how that translates is, if you want to go out with someone, if you want to ask someone out, 3 times the charm. You get 3 asks, and then after the 3 asks, that is harassment. It is not a good look for you. It'll get you in trouble. And I think that you should carry that principle of 3 times the charm into your own personal life when it comes to the invitations that you're doling out, whether you're doling them out in a work environment, at home, with your friends, like in the rec league that you're part of. If you have asked 3 times and 3 times have received a decline, then it's time to respect the boundary and move on. And I say that and I'm laughing because a lot of people, they come with the energy of not taking no for an answer, and just realize, like, when you think about that phrase and how frequently it is used, especially around the holidays, like, I'm just not going to take no for an answer. Like, it's a super toxic phrase, right? Like, if you really think about like how often that you yourself have used it, and if you think about like the connotation, it's like completely disrespecting someone's voice. It's completely like obliterating the sense of boundaries. Even if it's with like the best of intentions, it's never okay to not take no for an answer. I think that like it's wild that we have normalized that phrase and that we use it when we are digging our heels in the sand. When it comes to someone's time and energy and where they want to put it, it's really not for you to dig your heels in the sand. And I used to have to confront this kind of energy all the time, and it's already uncomfortable having to decline, but having to decline and then be rude because it's like someone's like, well, I'm not going to take no for an answer. It's like, what are you going to do, kidnap me? Like, that's not how this is going to go down. Like, if I say no, it's no. And so it is really uncomfortable when you're dealing with someone who doesn't care to hear no. They have no intention of hearing no. They want to see you present. And if you've reached this stage in your life where your energy is important to you, you prioritize your energy, and there's places that you don't want your energy to go, I think someone saying no is not offensive. And we need to stop taking offense when someone feels like the thing that you're doing, the thing that you're hosting, the thing that you're putting out, if they don't want it, that's okay. It makes room for the people who do. So rather than vocalize and really obsess about the people who are not interested or who are kind of like lukewarm, if someone has presented 3 times maximum a decline to the invitation that you're presenting, whether they're family, whether they're friends, whether they're your romantic partner, whether they're a colleague, like 3's a charm, let it go, move on. So that's the one toxic trait that I wanted to get down and out in the bag. And another toxic trait that I wanted to talk about is a pissing contest. Essentially, it's engaging in pissing contests. And so for me, like, I could not stand when it was the case that I only really saw certain specific people. Like, there are certain communities that we kind of bob and weave in and out of, it's on specific occasions. And so for me, like, a lot of my childhood friends, like, I wouldn't necessarily see them throughout the year, but if I was going home for the holidays, I would make a point to see like the friends that I had grown up with or the people that I hadn't seen in a while as part of that circuit. I'd have like a little circuit of the people that I would see typically only on the holidays. And so what I really despised when I carved out time to see the people that I was missing and that I wanted to see was when they turned it into a pissing contest. It was like, who did most, who accomplished most, who has the most bragging rights to kind of broadcast while we're spending this time together. And it made me wonder, like, why did I spend so much time like really wishing that I was in this person's space when all this has become is a pissing contest? And so that can be something that takes place with friends if you have frenemies, and I think all of us have had frenemies growing up, but people who pit themselves against you. But it also happens in families, right? And in my family, it was definitely very prevalent. Like, pissing contests were definitely a thing, and I couldn't stand them, and I still can't stand them. And even like in my day-to-day life, I cannot stand when a conversation is really just about one-upping each other. It is toxic. It is not fun. It makes everyone feel uncomfortable. It makes everyone feel inadequate. And who wants to feel those things over the holidays? So if that's what your holiday is comprised of, like if you find yourself building out your points for the pissing contest that you know you're going to initiate, like, let's not be toxic. Let's not engage in those kinds of behaviors. Why not just take the time that you have with the people you don't see very frequently and enjoy that time? And if there is a comfortable part of the conversation we can bring up something that you're really proud of, then bring it up, but not as a pissing contest, like not as a competition because you want to give yourself the opportunity to get bragging rights with people who typically don't see you most times out of the year. I think that the holidays is for everyone to celebrate everyone. It's not an opportunity for you to feel like bigger because you're stepping on someone else's accomplishments and achievements. So if that's something that you've engaged in the holidays, I don't know why, but it's like a prime season for pissing contests for people who just want to have the opportunity to show themselves up or show up the other person, whoever they have in mind is like their nemesis. And I don't know why we spend time like prepping ourselves, like readying ourselves to meet with our nemesis. I'd much rather avoid my nemesis at all costs. I wouldn't want to have a conversation with them. But if you're the kind of person who you do have to kind of operate in the same social circles as your nemesis and you're getting your pissing contest notes out, like I would say resist the urge to pit yourself against anyone else. Like, your journey is your journey. It is beautiful, it is wonderful, and it does not need to be compared and diminished by pitting it against someone else's journey. It's their journey and that's okay. The last one that I want to talk about in this video, because I do want to keep the video short, sweet, and digestible, is pouting. No one likes to powder over the holidays. Like, no one likes the person who wants to capitalize and cannibalize on people's attention on their time by just getting pity out of them. And there are some people who they don't know how to get positive energy. They don't know how to engage someone in conversation unless they are themselves complaining about something. And if you are someone where 9 times out of 10, if you're in a conversation and you're driving that conversation, you're driving it with complaining, that I am talking to you. Like, don't be toxic. Don't be the person who can only have a conversation on the negative things that are taking place in life. All of us have a balance of positive and negative. All of us have a choice in whether we focalize on the positive or the negative. So I'm here to tell you, focus on the positive. Bring the light and energy into the room, not the darkness and the clouds. No one wants that. People want to leave that behind over the holidays. So don't bring that into the rooms and the settings you're in, because you want to have a pity party. All of us are allowed to have pity parties. I'm just saying, like, don't have the pity party with people who are trapped with you at a specific event, right? And holiday events, like, they're the kinds of things where, you know, we circle in and out of them, but don't be the kind of person where someone is really trying to escape a conversation with you because you're having a pity party. And if you're having a pity party and it's lasting more than 3 minutes, better believe that the person who is listening to you, who is ready to go out to have a good time, they're trying to escape that conversation. So I'm here to say, if that is how you engage and connect and want to interact with people, like, change your vibration. Like, bring the vibration up, connect over positive, happy tidbits or something that is neutral, but like, don't try to build connection over shared trauma or over your own trauma or over the things that you would like to have sympathy about. I think that there's a time and place for that. And I don't know why or who decided that the Christmas holidays was a time and place for it, but I'm here to say, like, no, like, it is something that is so irritating. No one wants to deal with it. And so if this video was sent to you by a peer, by a friend, by a family member, then you exhibit one of these toxic traits that they would like to nix out of their holiday experience. And so take it from me, I'm a neutral party. Like, if this is what you're engaging in, if this is how you connect with people, this is your message from the universe to stop. And so those are the 3, and there are many more. Those are the 3, though, highlights or highlight toxic traits that I really do avoid at all costs over the holidays. And so it would be better if everyone just knew, like, these things were just not fun to deal with. No one wants to deal with pressure, with societal pressure, with peer pressure. Like, if they say no 3 times a charm, and then it's harassment. So, like, take the no for what it is and make space for the people who really want to come naturally, rather than trying to bully people into coming to your event. Whether that's a family, friend, whomever, take no. If it's a no, it's okay. It's not an offense. It's not a slight. It just is what it is. And so the next point that I had made was really about pissing contests. We don't need to engage in them. They're not fun. They're not expansive. They don't add to your life or to anyone else's life. They just make everyone feel crappy and inadequate about themselves. So why do that? Like, why engage in that kind of behavior over the holidays? Nix that in the bud. And last, the pouting, the pity parties. Like, keep that to a minimum over the holidays. And if you're a sad drinker, stay away from the eggnog, please and thank you. Like, just don't drink if you're a sad drinker and it makes you depressed and want to have a pity party with everybody. Just kind of keep yourself on the virgin drinks over the holidays. So it was fun and light. I didn't want to make it too serious, but definitely still important, because I think all of us want to have rules of engagement or break some of the current rules of engagement if they're toxic over the holidays. So maybe this video is your clue, is your little light bulb letting you know that maybe this year we do things a little bit differently over the holidays. And again, neutral party sharing this news, so hopefully no offense, no harm, no foul. In any case, that was it for today, but definitely not all. Now, before letting you go, I would be remiss if I didn't let you know that we do host live events every month, twice a month for the foreseeable future, and we have our new calendar coming up for 2025. So if you want to focus on self-mastery, if you want to think about how to dive deep or engage in self-discovery in a way that gives you more enlightenment and more meaning and fulfillment in life, then definitely join our community. We have different events posted throughout the year, so check out our live events, check out that calendar on our website. And as it relates to my own personal stalking situation, thank you so much for caring and for tuning in. I don't have any news for you as yet, but once I do know, you will know too. Thank you so much again, and we'll talk to you all very soon. We'll talk to you later.